Easy P? I like it.
Well, hello, y'all. It is time to breathe again on the latest BOFASports webcast, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So you caught Patrick reading some of Aaron's comments that he had.
No, that ain't comments. That's a rap spot.
Okay, he's rhyming. All right.
He's rapping.
I can come on here.
He's rapping right now.
Yeah, y'all can come on here and read it. But yeah, he dropped bars for us. And Aaron, once again, man, thanks for showing the love to us. We were just discussing your documentaries on the 5 Falls of Glass Pearl. We both, of course, we caught part 1. Still have to watch part 2. Did an excellent job with part 1. You expect nothing less.
Phenomenal.
So,
and he got the coach.
Yeah.
That's spot on, man. That is spot on.
And also, I'm gonna see about I'm gonna put the links on there to share with other people as well. So I mean, I encourage you to check that out.
I do want to say this part on the first one, man. On part 1, dude. Like, Aaron, bro, that is a phenomenal interview, because when it's funny how a lot of people, like the interviewer, has to have their time in the spotlight, and you didn't take that. You gave the coach the spotlight. Dude, perfect job. That was awesome. That was awesome. And you gave the coach his entire spiel. And another thing, good for you on not cutting anything out and leaving it in so nobody can misinterpret what he said. Phenomenal job. I loved it, dude. I can't wait for part 2. I mean, I know it's already out. I'm going to watch it. So this time next week, I will have watched part 2. But dude, I had to go back and watch part 1 on a lot of spots again, just to make sure I understood what was going on. Dude, it was phenomenal. You did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, speaking as a person who has a journalistic background, you can. It kind of makes me sick when I see interviewers basically steal that spotlight that should be going to the person who is being interviewed, because ultimately that's what it's about. It's not about us as the host, whatever the show is. It's not about us. It's about that person that you were coming on or that you were interviewing, who was gracious enough to give their time to come on there and share their viewpoints, share what they went through as it was happening during that part of the season, of whatever trial or tribulation or journey that they're on. And so, Aaron, just to echo Patrick's point, that was great that you sat there, you let him tell the story, because who's going to know more about the story than him? The coach.
Exactly. And dude, look, and I don't have a journalistic background, but I have been friends with this man for 20 years, so I have gotten a lot of education behind it. And now, with that being said, never in my life will I ever say I'm a journalist or I'm an analyst or any of that stuff. To be honest with you, I am on this show to support him and strictly have fun. That's it. And he is the journalist. So, but I do know enough to, when I see something like that, I have to give that shout out, because like Charles said, it's not about the interviewer, it's about the interviewee, and you did a great job on it.
And Patrick, just so you know, I will never say I'm a computer guy either.
I don't either.
Not
anymore. I'm trying to be a content creator.
Well, hey, Aaron, once again, man, appreciate you showing the love to this show, and it's people like you who make this show. So we appreciate you coming on and showing the love, and you're here every week. We do it, even when things are going on in your life. So we really, really appreciate that.
And then one more thing I do got to say before we go. Actually, I got 2 more things I got to say. One, as good as part 1 was, it's still not as good as your rap. So that was pretty on point. So I like that. But I do got to give a huge shout out, and I don't know if we were going to go over this, Charles, but I wanted to give a huge shout out to the Kentucky Derby, with Golden Tempo being a 23-1 odds win, coming from 18th place to win the entire thing. Wow! And shout out to DeVoe for being the first woman to have a trained horse in the Kentucky Derby. So shout out to her as well.
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby and horse racing in general, a lot of people, if they do know anything about horse racing, it is the Triple Crown. Of course, the Kentucky Derby is the first race. Then you have the Preakness Stakes, which is in Baltimore. And then it's the Belmont Stakes in New York in June. And so you got to give a little bit of time for horse racing to shine, because this is their show. This is like their Super Bowl.
This is their national championship right here.
So, with that, look, Patrick, like you said, man, it is a kind of a freestyle show. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about the NBA and NHL playoffs. Tarik Skubal, the beast pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, get it right.
Yeah, he has. When I hear that term, loose bodies in the elbow, it's like, what does that mean? Is it like segments of ligaments? What is that? But whatever it is, he's going to have surgery, but there's no timetable. So basically, it's not Tommy John surgery. It sounds like something that's going to clean it out. I know, right? But it wouldn't be a surprise if we don't see him anymore till next year. And who knows who that's going to be.
Oh, you won't. You won't. I mean, look, it's the workaround to Tommy John surgery without saying you're going to get Tommy John surgery, because it's basically what you're getting. I mean, yeah, they're going to clean it out.
Loose bodies.
Yeah. Anytime I hear that, it goes through my head anytime I hear that, because like over the course of years, I've heard that so many times, right? And all I can think about is Malibu's Most Wanted. When B-Rag goes dropping bodies. That's all I can think about. It goes through my head every time. But dude, that's Tommy John surgery. Just go ahead and do it. You claim it what it is. It's like the NCAA when they're like, oh yeah, this is the student athlete. No, it's the athletic student. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. That's what it is. It's Tommy John surgery, bro. It's Tommy John surgery. Just call it what it is.
Yeah, and on a team standpoint, well, because this could have an effect on whatever contract Skubal was in line to get. Remember, coming into this year, he had arbitration. So he was able to sign that arbitration deal for a year, and he's pitching with the Tigers. From all indications, he was still looking good. I know the last start he had, I want to say it was last week against your Atlanta Braves. And I think the Braves won that game 4-3. By the way,
we got them.
Yeah, by the way, the Braves are first. It's 1 month. This is the first month. But
hey, look, if we go by ESPN standards, be like, if the season ended today, we got the number one spot.
I'll say this: the key for the Braves, because I think they'll be able to score. They have a potent lineup. It's that pitching. Stay healthy. Sale has been good. Y'all had a very pleasant surprise with Bryce Elder coming in and helping to solidify that rotation. And I just got Spencer Strider back this weekend. So if those three, Strider, Sale, and Elder, stay healthy, you have a rotation that can.
We just need a fourth. We do need a fourth pitcher to either A, step up, or B, we're going to have to trade for. Because I mean, it's nice to have all three of those pitching at the way that they're pitching, but I would feel more comfortable having a fourth in that lineup, especially in today's baseball. Like if we were in the 90s, dude, I'm good. I'm good. We're going to World Series with three. In today's baseball, everybody trying to go yard and all that stuff. Nah, I'd like to have a fourth pitcher.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Especially to help just boost that lineup. You know what I mean? And like you said, we got Strider coming
through the bullpen either.
What's that?
You don't burn. Sorry about that. I was just going to say you don't burn through the bullpen either.
No, we're letting our starters pitch. Which is good because I mean, and I had to look this up yesterday, but was it yesterday? Sunday. I looked it up Sunday. Our pitchers are averaging 5 2/3 innings right now. I'm good with that. I mean, it's almost 6. I would like for us to be in that 6, 7 innings, and then bring our bullpen in. But look, man, you can't argue with what the Braves are doing right now. They're letting their starting pitcher pitch, and I'm good with that.
So Aaron says, let Schellenbach cook. That'd be your fourth starter. Yep. And he says, also for you baseball fanatics, Secret Base has a 7-part documentary on the complete history of charging the mound. This is where I draw documentary inspiration from. You know, so as
long as they don't try to pull anything from Bryce Harper charging the mound. Oh, and let me tell you right now, Bryce Harper, you know, Mr. Perfect Hair.
Yes.
Okay. He might have some competition with hair.
Oh,
Austin Riley, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's good looking hair, dude. I was like, oh, okay. Bryce Harper. Don't get me wrong now. Bryce Harper's still number 1, but there's Austin Riley there slowly sneaking up into second place.
This is definitely
Troy Polamalu ain't going to get there, but you know, Austin Riley might get there.
This is definitely the salon portion of the show.
Yeah, shout out to my wife.
Yeah.
I have to say, Austin Riley got some nice hair, man. I'm just saying. Silky smooth.
I had heard of Secret Base. I haven't checked it out, but Aaron, if you're recommending it, I'm gonna take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll go and look at it.
You know, and then speaking of, I guess documentaries or mini series, Patrick, I'm pretty sure we talked about this a few times. You go on. I want to say it might be MLB TV. If it's not, I'll have to find the source just so they get the credit. But there's parts on YouTube that you can catch where it's talking about the battles that Greg Maddux and Barry Bonds have had. That's
I've already seen all of those.
Yeah, right. You talk.
You know, Greg Maddux was one of my favorite pitchers. You know what I mean? Never overpowering, just consistent, solid pitcher.
You talk about Patrick, really? So you talk about you talk about getting in.
Sorry, Luna opened my door, man, and I can't keep the door open. Mosquitoes will come in.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be a mosquito buffet right now.
No, I was just saying. You talk about getting into the ins and outs and the thinking behind why Greg Maddux said he would make this pitch, and how Barry Bonds goes up, how he approaches every at bat. It's just the strategic, just have the strategy that is being used as they're explaining it. It's awesome to me.
Have you seen the one where I want to say it was Bobby Cox comes out and Greg Maddux is pitching and he goes, "Okay, we're going to bring in a reliever." And he goes, "No, you're not." He's like, "No, you're not. What we're going to do is I'm going to pitch to him. I'm going to pitch him an outside pitch. And I'm going to come in inside. I'm going to force him to pop it up. Chipper Jones is going to catch it. And we're going to end this inning. And you can go back to the dugout." And he's like, Chipper's like, sure enough, he goes outside, comes inside, pops it up. Chipper Jones goes, "What the hell?" He called it, and the pitching coach and Bobby Cox is over going, "How do you call that?" He just looked at Chipper and goes, "Be ready."
Because number one, for those who saw Greg Maddux pitch, you know, he's not missing the location of his pitches.
Not often.
Yeah, and when he hits that location, he pretty much knows where it's going to be hit at. Because he did pretty extensive scouting reports on all the hitters, and he knows their strengths, he knows their weaknesses, and he knew he could probably get this guy, depending on who the batter is, he knows he's going to get him to pull. He knows he's probably, because the location's going to be perfect, he can get him to ground out or fly out to a certain spot, because where that location is, there's nothing the batter could really do except what Greg Maddux was
wanting him to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that there was never a catcher? Well, in the stint where he was in Atlanta and then he went to Chicago, did you know that a catcher, not one catcher, ever told him a sign during that time?
Oh, that's crazy.
So he would actually call the catcher and tell him what he was going to pitch. So if he caught the ball out here, he was like, if I catch the ball out there, it's going to be a fastball. If I catch it in, I want an inside changeup or whatever. And wherever he caught the ball is where he told the catcher where he was going to go. Then the catcher would throw out a bunch of signs. Didn't mean crap. Greg Maddux would pitch his pitch. And he was telling him how to pitch, what he was going to pitch based on where he caught the ball.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's you some facts on Greg Maddux. I love watching him, dude. And you know, and it's funny because like I went back and started looking at some of that stuff because I didn't know it at the time. Never even thought about it, never questioned it, never even looked at it. And then I watched an interview and he goes, yeah, that entire time I pitched in Atlanta, and after I got traded off to Chicago, he goes, not one catcher ever told me what I'm pitching from those times. He goes, I told them what I was pitching. And the interviewer was like, well, how did you tell him? He goes, well, it was based on where I caught the ball. If I caught it outside, or if I caught it, you know, closer to the catcher, it was a fastball. If I caught it closer to me, it was a changeup. And then wherever, right, you know, I told him where it was going to be based on where I caught the ball. I was like, genius.
Yeah.
And he goes, and then the interviewer goes, but like, so those signs that the catcher gave you? He goes, meant nothing. I was like, damn, okay. Dude, you gotta love Greg Maddux, man. Gotta love him.
He always wore those glasses too. He's like a mad professor all the time.
Yeah.
You sit there and just analyze things. It was awesome. And then just hearing him talk about those at bats, with those battles he had with Barry Bonds, because I mean, that's the best. This is best on best right there. And say what you want about Barry Bonds and whatever steroid use, the cream and the clear, Falco, whatever. I don't care.
You still gotta hit the ball.
Dude could hit. All right.
You still gotta hit an 85, 90 mile an hour ball with a bat that big around. There you go, that big around, and that ball is doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, you still got to hit the ball. I mean, no matter, I don't care how much steroids you can do, unless you've got eye vision steroids where you can predict the future of that pitch. You still got to hit the ball.
Stick gate. Sorry, sticky gate.
They have no creativity when it comes to their naming convention. Sticky gate, baseball bat gate, fence or too close gate, mountain is too high gate. I'm gonna put something else. Flake gate.
Well,
I just give him dookie looks all the time.
Well, Patrick, like I'm gonna change the subject a little bit, and I'm going to bring out the where is it at? Bringing out the intense applause. Bringing out the intense applause.
What are we pausing?
The first round series in the Stanley Cup playoffs between the Montreal Canadiens and Tampa Bay Lightning. That might have been one of the best first round series I have seen in recent memory. 7 games, all the games, 1 goal scores.
So we're starting in NHL then.
Yeah, we can go into the NHL. Yes, because I want to give a shout out to that series, man. All them games were 1-score games. 4 of them went to overtime. I mean, you talk about tightly contested series. Of course, won by the Canadians, who will they will face the Buffalo Sabres.
They better be bringing it against them Sabres, man.
You talk about 2 electric environments, man. Buffalo and
those are going to be the best.
Oh my goodness! So that series starts on Wednesday.
Hey, Aaron, watch the furnace.
Yeah,
this is when it cooks up right here, man. Watch that opening.
Aaron,
how about them Flyers? And then how about them Canes?
I was gonna say this is a tough 2 games here for the Flyers.
The Flyers should have won that second game. They played phenomenal for what, 2.5 periods?
Yeah,
and then it just fell, and I was like, man, it was. And I'm putting it on the long series against the Penguins. I am going to put it on that because they had one day, and then they went into game 1, and the Hurricanes just demolished them in the first period. And then the Flyers came out fighting. I was like, okay, they got some fight in them. They scored 2 goals in the first 4.5 minutes or something like that, and everything was just looking good. I don't know if anybody scored in the second period. I didn't watch the second period, but then Hurricanes took over, man, and it's just the Hurricanes are so disciplined, man. They're so disciplined, and this is not what you saw from the Canes last year. They were a little more sporadic. Their blue liners took off a lot faster than they should have, and now they're disciplined.
Well, what you saw from the Canes last year, and this is getting to your point about the difference. Last year, they did one thing very, very well. I remember when we had the talk at this point last year, they were about to play the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals. And yeah, Carolina was very good with the forechecking. When you get to that spot, especially right here, Eastern Conference semifinals going up to the conference finals, you better do multiple things well, or you're going to go home. The Florida Panthers, of course, coming off a Stanley Cup the previous year and winning last year as well, they just did multiple things well, and that series was over in 5 games. What you're seeing with Carolina this year is, yes, they still do the forecheck well, but now they can defend well. They have solid goaltending is also, and now win games where they're not necessarily the best team on the ice. Now, Aaron pointed out, he said, hey, they play 7 for a reason. I'm confident they're a bunch of 19, 21-year-olds overachieving. We didn't expect to be here, and we're going to have fun and say F expectations. Yes, that is true about the Flyers. And I think
I will say this before. I want to say this real quick. I agree with you, 19 and 21 years old. I mean, because I do think that team is an average age is 21.
They're a young team.
Yeah. They're a very young team, but this is what the difference is out of what you're commenting, Aaron, and what I'm seeing on the ice. Yes, you're right. They play 7 games for a reason. You're absolutely right, and you should have all the confidence because that Flyers team, this is not overachieving for this Flyers team. This Flyer team expected to be here. This is the reason why they're playing so well. Now, I will say that this is where the Flyers are going to learn a lot because, like Charles mentioned before, there's a lot of things that you have to do very well at this point in the playoffs. And the Flyers are learning that now. And they're learning that multiple dimensions is what it's going to take because their checking is not as hard as the Canes are hitting. Their blue liners are not as disciplined as the Canes have been disciplined in the past 6 games because they're like 6-0 right now. They're just flying through. Now, don't get me wrong. The Senators were injured in the first. I kind of felt like the Senators were a little more injured than they should have been. So
I think a little overmatched.
Yeah, they were a little overmatched based on the injuries that the Senators had. But I do disagree with the one thing where you're saying that they're overachieving. I don't think that team is overachieving. They are that good. I feel that they are in a position where they're at now, not because they're overachieving, because they're that good. So I agree with you on everything except for they're overachieving. I think they're achieving exactly what they wanted to achieve this point in the series, or at this point in the season. I just feel like that Canes team is going to teach them a lot.
I think, and you know what, that could be a bigger conversation when it comes to teams like the Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I don't subscribe to the whole thing about having to go through some lumps and having to go through battles before you get to a championship, because you can get hot, you can catch some lightning, and you can get there. We've seen it in the NHL numerous times where you've had 8 seeds win the Stanley Cup. Yeah, win the Stanley Cup
several years back.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily subscribe to that theory, but I will say normally, yes, there are some battle scars that have to take place. And maybe this is the Flyers getting those battle scars right now. Maybe they go out. They're down 2-0. We'll see what happens as the scene shifts to Philly. But if they do go out to the Hurricanes, then there's your learning experience. There's your spot where, all right, next time we get into this position, we're gonna know or understand a little bit what it takes to get there. It could be the intensity might not have been where it needed to be. Whereas the Hurricanes, they have been through these battles, being in the Eastern Conference Finals last year and in the previous year as well, where they know, all right, we've been in this battle. We know the intensity is going to ratchet up a little bit. Goaltending might need to be a little bit better. We need to step our game up in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of times that just comes within yourself.
Yeah. And even though the Hurricanes are up 2-0, basically all that means is that the Hurricanes held serve. That's all that means.
That's it.
And so now you're going into Philly in that hostile environment that Philly has. I mean, that's hostile. I'm very. I'm not. I mean, let's just say the Hurricanes do it. They're not going to win it in 4. I'll tell you that right now. Because Philly is young as Philly is. They're good. They're good. And they're gonna learn from their mistakes that they have made in these first 2. And I'll tell you, dumb mistakes is what got Philly in game 2. Holding penalties. I mean, dude, they had just in the first period alone, they had 3 holding penalties, which caused 2 power play or 3 power plays, and the Canes scored on 1 of them. And you got to give Flyers a lot of credit, because in the first game, the power plays were 0-8. Nobody scored on power plays. Nobody. So they have the defense to stop the power plays. They have the defense to stop the Canes. They just got to put a couple of more things in place and put them together. And those blue liners have got to be disciplined on their spots. They're getting in no man's land, and that's where it happened on the second goal that the Canes had. Look at where both of the blue liners were. They were both on the other wing, and it left what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. It left him open on the goal, and he was able to slap it in. But the blue liners got caught on the other side. And if the blue liners are going to be caught on that side, you got to make sure the puck's over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's small mistakes like that the Canes were making last year, but they're not making them this year. So there's a lot of things that the Flyers are learning, and they're learning it on it, but you got to come into Philly. You got to get that win. You got to take this series 2-2 going, back to
Raleigh.
Yeah. So the Flyers are very capable. I don't feel like they're overachieving. I think they're right where they want to be. Maybe not 2 down to the Canes. They would probably have liked to got 1 in Carolina, but simple story, man. Hurricanes held serve. Now it's the Flyers to hold serve. That's it.
And over on the West, I mean, you have the Colorado Avalanche. I don't know. I don't know if they're ever gonna really stop scoring. I mean, they scored.
I don't think so either.
They scored 9 goals in the Game 1 victory over the Minnesota Wild. The Wild had a very good series win over the Dallas Stars, taking them out. By the way, Dallas Stars, they might need some retooling because they've had this
second line, dude. They got no talent.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, I don't know. It's something I really don't like what I'm about to say here about the Dallas Stars, but I'm gonna say it. They have a team that is apparently they're built for the regular season, and they're not built for playoffs where you have adjustments being made. You're playing them over and over and over again. And look, Dallas has come close. They were in the Western Conference Finals the last couple of years, going out to the Edmonton Oilers, who they're going to need to retool as well. But they went out in the Western Conference Finals, and this year you're out in the first round. You've had that core group together for a while with Jamie Benn. I know Tyler Seguin went out for the year early this year, but the core group has been together, and it seems like
isn't Seguin, isn't he the center for the first line?
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's a very important piece. I mean, with Jamie Benn, I mean, they've been core pieces.
Yeah, and Jamie Bennett moving up to the first line doesn't match those two wings anyway. So I mean, the fact that the fact that the Stars got in, I mean, they're a good team. Like you said, they're a regular season team. With Tyler Seguin, that they are definitely playoff ready. But you got to have Tyler Seguin on the first line. I mean, he can't be injured. I mean, that's hard to move Bennett up to the first line. And you know, who's the center for the third line now, which would now be the second line?
Let's see, because I mean they have a bunch of either Rantanen, Janmark,
Rantanen. He would be your center for the second line, and he hasn't played with that second line except for this year.
And I mean, and really, so you have some good players there, but they may just have to get a little bit younger. I mean, look at these teams. You look at teams like the Anaheim the Ducks. We talked about the Flyers earlier. I mean, these are young teams with a lot of speed. The Colorado Avalanche, they need to talk to Colorado because Colorado won a Stanley Cup in 2022. And they've been able to still stay competitive, getting knocked out in whichever round. Could be the first round, could be the second round. They were running into Dallas. Dallas was actually knocking them out. Dallas, I think, knocked them out last year, as a matter of fact, in the first round. But around Nathan McKinnon, they've been able to continue to rebuild, and they are flying right now. President's Trophy winners. I'm sure, look, this will be a pretty good series. I know they scored 9 goals. I mean, Minnesota scored 6 themselves. But this will be a good series with them in the Wild.
Yeah. And but those goalies got to step up. 9-6.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
Come on. In a playoff game, 9-6. I saw that and I was like, well, dang. That was like 5 people had hat tricks.
Yeah.
Everybody's scoring. Jeez.
So
like origin in the goal, in the hockey goal. Everybody's scoring.
So we'll keep an eye on it. I think the Wild and Avalanche are the only hockey game on this evening.
As of right now, yeah.
And yeah, I think that'll be it. Because the Ducks and Golden Knights, they played last night. So of course the Flyers and Hurricanes did, and the Sabres Canadian series doesn't start till tomorrow. So yeah. So that all eyes will be on Denver for hockey tonight, and then
there was a huge controversy in that Ducks Golden Knights game. Did you see that? The icing call.
The icing call, yeah. So I was actually.
Did you think it was icing? I didn't. I thought it was a good call. I think we went back and got the right call.
So I think because I was watching it live, And I was going back and forth between that and the Timberwolves and Spurs, which we'll talk about in a minute over in the NBA. But the ref, I guess, waved off the icing because he felt Eichel, I think it was going.
Eichel got his foot. He got a step out there.
Yeah. So he waved off the icing, and to me, it's a judgment call. I think it was right.
I think it was right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm sitting here like I looked at that and I was like, I mean, I didn't watch it live, but I did catch it. Like when I flipped back over, I saw it on a replay, and so I got to see it slow mo, and I was like, oh, that's not icing.
Yeah,
that's not icing. You know, and then it came back and it wasn't icing, and Golden Knights ended up scoring on that play. I was like, yeah, it's right. That was the right call. You know.
Yeah.
So okay, cool.
Nah, yeah, because it's a judgment call on the ref's part, and if the ref decided to wave it off, there's really nothing you can do about that. Yeah. And plus, it's on the Ducks to continue playing. Players make me sick in this regard. I don't want to.
When do players not make you sick in any regard?
Well, because I don't want to sound like I'm ranting here, but specifically in hockey and in soccer, and I guess you can say this about basketball as well, it's almost like they're waiting for the refs to bail them out. So if they feel there is a call that should have been made, they're automatically throwing the hand up. Oh, this should have been offsides. Oh my goodness, this should have been icing. If you don't hear a whistle, you need to keep playing. Yeah. You cannot sit here and continue to throw these hissy fits when you don't hear a whistle. The play is still going. You still have an obligation to continue to play. And in this case, if you're the Ducks and you're on defense now, you better get some people in front of the. Yeah,
you better put somebody in front of that goal.
Yeah. You have to keep playing.
Put somebody there.
Yeah. You cannot.
That's the reason why I really will not watch too much of that Golden Knights Ducks series. I just don't think it's going to be that good of a series. I will watch the Canes and the Flyers, dude. Those men right there, they play through the whistle. They're blowing the whistle and it's still blowing and they're still blowing and they're still blowing and they're still.
Yes,
that series is going to be one of the best ones. The Canes and the Flyers. That Sabres and Canadians. It's
going to be a good
one too. I just kind of have this feeling Avalanche is really going to kind of blow the roof off of the Wild. That Avalanche team is just so freaking good.
What's the saying, Patrick? They're going to get a dog walk because there's always
too bad you can get mercy ruled and stop at the period. What was that score after the second period? Jeez.
So I put it on in the middle of the third period. It was
5-5 at the end. It was 5-5 at the end of the second period. At intermission of the second period, it was 5-5. Minnesota was 4-2. Colorado was 3. Then it was 3-2, so it's 5-5, and then Colorado just dog walked them in the third period, 4-1.
The Avalanche they might be the best skating team left. I mean, they are so fast.
Them and the Canes, man, they're good.
So fast. So all right, moving over to the NBA, Patrick. There's some teams that need some help. I think we'll start with the Boston Celtics because you always talk about playing with the food, and boy, did Boston play with their food. And now they're out. What Boston needs, if you were to ask me, they need to find a low post presser. All right, because the 3-point shooting, it's we know the deal. Make or miss
3 for 51.
We know the deal. Make or miss lead when it's going in. Hold on. Aaron says you lost to the process. Jason, anything is processable. That is going back to the whole Joel Embiid trust the process situation there. And look, Boston had a 3-1 lead with Game 5 at home in Boston. you have to put that series away.
You got to.
And then Philly was able to get their traction. This was Joel Embiid's second game back from his emergency epidemi, and he dominated in the post, especially in game 5. Like he dominated. He said, I'm not going to stay out here and shoot any more jumpers. I'm going inside. I'm punishing anybody you put out there, whether it's Keita, whether it's Nikolai Vucevic, whether it's Luke Garza. I don't care. We're going into the post and we're punishing them. Boston needs to get some sort of a low post presence, because when that 3-point shot is gone, it takes away everything. And plus,
yes, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Well, here's my problem with what you're saying, Charles. Because here's the thing: is I 100% agree with you. 100%. They do need a low post presence, but as long as you got Brown and Tatum, they're not giving up that ball for that low post presence. They're going to want to score.
So to that point, Patrick,
you got to get rid of them.
Yeah. So to that point about Tatum and Brown need to get a mid-range game. They do. It's 3-pointers or layups, and that's basically the analytics way. We know how it goes with what analytics says. You don't want to shoot the mid-range jumper is not that high percentage of a jumper, but look, you get a mid-range game going, that opens up everything else. And with Tatum and Brown, it's feast or famine. It's either 3-pointer or layup, and a mid-range game could have really helped there when you're struggling to hit from 3 points. The Celtics,
especially when Embiid is killing you on a mid-range game.
He said, Aaron says, bruh, as a Bucks fan, the 1 year we don't make the playoffs and the East is this week. I'm sick, bro. Doc Rivers is the worst. Yes, the Eastern Conference.
Preach it. All right, look, I ain't got nothing to say. My Hawks got dog walked. By the Knicks in game 5, 6, whatever it was. Holy crap. I flipped that crap on. I went like this. Hawks. And I was like, because I was running late. I get home. I turn the game on. It's 89-29. I turned it on. I was like, I looked at that and I was like, I didn't even cuss, Charles. I didn't cuss. I just went, huh. And turned around and walked away. Because there's nothing I could do. You getting beat by 60 at half. I was like, what was that? I was like, where were you at, McCullough? We're good. We're good. Yeah, we're good.
Aaron says New York went to Atlanta and showed them their Civil War reenactment skills. That's terrible.
That's exactly what happened.
You know, the Hawks took the 2-1 series lead. New York made a couple of adjustments. They basically said we're going to slow the pace down. We're going to really dig in on defense by slowing the pace down. So now you're able to go to Karl Anthony Towns, and he was able to pretty much dominate inside. Jalen Brunson was able to get loose, and OG Anunoby, I mean, he was very consistent in this series.
Yeah.
But when you're able to score at a high rate on the offensive end, you can go on back, you set up your defense, and Atlanta was struggling to score in the half court because they couldn't get out in the open court either.
Yeah, New York took their strength away. And this goes right here based on just like what you said in hockey. If you're at this point in the playoffs, even in basketball, you got to be multidimensional. And that's the reason why the Celtics got beat, because the 76ers with Embiid and Maxey ultimately were very multidimensional. You know, like Aaron said, very gutsy performance by Embiid, definitely. Yes. You know, I mean, to be out there even after getting hit in the knee twice, same knee.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I was like, Max, he's got to stop flopping. I mean, he was not hit hard enough to go flying like that. You know what I mean? And that's that problem I have with flopping right there, is because you eventually are going to hurt somebody. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I have to give LeBron so much credit on how professional his flopping is.
He does it.
I've never seen anybody look around to make sure nobody else gets hurt while he does a soft but yet dramatic fly across the court. I mean, he's like, I mean, he's got it down pat. I mean, like, he is a professional flopper. He is. But Maxey can't be doing that. He can't be doing that because, I mean, you could see the pain that he was going through trying to get through the rest of that 3 minutes after that hit, dude. I was like, he might not play game one.
Yeah, he was able to play game one, even though the Knicks.
Oh, they did. That's right. They did play. He might not play game two then.
The Knicks kind of dog walked him in that first game too. But Boston was 13 of 47 from 3-point land.
That's what it was. I was like 3 for 60, maybe.
Yeah, it might as well have been. But
Derek White had 4 of them, right?
Yeah, Derek White had gotten hot in the fourth quarter.
I'm so glad he shaved his head.
that hairline was not.
That hairline was for real. I mean, it was for real.
But Boston needs to retool. Denver probably needs to retool a little bit. They got to get younger. Minnesota looked like they played with more intensity during the course of the series, and Minnesota used their younger guys. Even with injuries to Anthony Edwards and Dante DiVincenzo, they were still able to get Denver out. They got them out. They had game 6 at home with the series away, and they just went to San Antonio and won game 1. Anthony Edwards did return, but what I like about what Chris Finch is doing, because I know you remember this from last year, Patrick, I was saying, man, Chris Finch, he doesn't play anybody. And then they're playing against a team like OKC. OKC ran them out in 5 games in the Western Conference Finals. But Minnesota is playing the people. Maybe some of that is kind of forced because of the injuries, but now they got Anthony Edwards back, and Chris Finch is still playing those people, still playing Terrence Shannon. You got Rudy Gobert actually playing well, Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels has stepped his game up as well, and they got to win in San Antonio. I will say this. People were shocked that San Antonio lost this game. It shouldn't be. Here's why. This is going back to what we were saying about the experience and being able to go through these situations. The Spurs, young team, just like we talked about with the Flyers, just like we talked about with the Ducks in the NHL. The Spurs are a young team, so they're going through these battles and they're having to learn on the fly. I think the Spurs will be okay. I think this will probably be a 6-7 game series, but Minnesota has been, just like we were talking about with the Stars in the Western Conference in the NHL, the Timberwolves have been in the Western Conference Finals the last couple of years. So they are hungry. They're going to feel like they can win this series, and they should.
They should, yeah, absolutely. But like you said, the Spurs are a young team, and Timberwolves, this is really kind of playing right in their hands. I mean, like you said, they've been in the conference finals several years. So it's looking like the Timberwolves
do
their thing. You know, it should do their thing. But I agree with you. The Spurs are a good team. I think it will go 6 or 7. You know, I had the Nuggets winning that first round. So shout out to Minnesota for playing as well as they did. But I'm going to tell you, it was going to take a performance like that from Minnesota for me to go, okay, yeah, y'all are. I can see y'all, because last year we talked about we did this whole bit about playing with your food, and we was like, I don't know if Minnesota is there yet. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're there yet. But it was going to take throughout that playoffs for us to see. Well, they made it to the conference or the conference finals, and they just got beat by a better team last year, right? It's not going to be like that this year. I don't think Minnesota is going to play with their food. I think they are battle tested. I think they are going to do what they need to do. Minnesota in 6 is what I kind of got. I got the Thunder going in 5. So I think it's a rematch, man. I just think it is.
The Thunder might sweep the Lakers.
Dude, I hope so. I mean, I looked over at the score and I was like, oh, yeah, the Lakers are up by 5 right now, or 4 right now, or whatever it was. I blinked, I looked back over, and the Thunder were up by 10. I was like,
the Lakers, their only chance, if they are to have a chance in this series, they have to keep it slow. They cannot get in a run and gun with the Thunder, or it's going to be a very short series. And you know the Thunder are going to do everything they can to do that, and they have the defensive pressure to force that. So if the Lakers are loose with the ball, it's a guaranteed 2 points on the other end for the Thunder, and the series can get away in a hurry. I think with the Spurs, so to answer Aaron's question, because he said the Spurs are a one-man show. He mentioned Keldon Johnson. Is he still there? Yes, Keldon Johnson is there. And Stephon Castle, I would say with Stephon Castle, he's more up than down. Yesterday was probably one of those down performance, but Minnesota turned it into a rock fight too. You have to give their defense a lot of credit because they slowed the Spurs down, and it was a slog, which I don't mind slogs. Like, I mean, I like the rock fights and the suckiness of it all, because now you got to earn. It's one thing to play up and down, playing pretty, getting these pretty 3-pointers going on.
Slog.
Yes.
Slow, long ass game.
Yes.
Is that what that means?
I don't know if that's what it means, but basically, yes, it is. It's just rough. It's just one of those games where nothing is easy, and you have to trudge through sometimes. You have to get the dirty points. The points where you just hope you could get it on the rim, and you just have to scrap an offensive rebound out of there to get a basket.
Oh, okay.
That's what Minnesota turned it into. And
kind of like the Atlanta Dream.
I don't know if they can rebound all those misses. But hey,
Angel Reese and her debut. Dude, don't even get me started. No, you know what? I'm not going to let me get me started.
So the preseason for the WNBA is going on right now, and the season will be starting here in a little bit. And hey, we'll find out. I mean, look, the WNBA, I'm really interested to see how some of these teams are coming out. We know the Las Vegas Aces are the champions.
And yeah, they look good.
Yeah, but
I'm tell you, the dream.
It's
dream. I'll tell you that.
Is this the year for the Indiana Fever to win a title? You get Caitlin Clark back, of course. I think, your girl, Sophie World Peace.
Sophie World Peace, baby. Yeah. They got the pieces. They got the pieces in Indiana to win that. But there's a huge gap in talent in the WNBA. Huge gap.
Yes, the good teams are the good, and that if you're
the dream. There's good teams, there's bad teams, and then there's the dream. And it's not the dream team. I'm telling you, it looks bad. It looks bad.
So we'll keep an eye on the basketball. There's a close game going on in Detroit. First round or first game of that second round series between the Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers. 97-93 is the score that I'm seeing right now. Detroit winning, and You mentioned
4 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, and you mentioned OKC up on LA 43-37. Right now it's the score I see there.
Yep.
And then tomorrow will be game 2s of the Sixers, Knicks, and Timberwolves and Spurs. There was something else I was going to mention. Oh, Detroit winning. So Detroit came back from down 3-1 to beat the Orlando Magic. That's another team that needs to think about some things to do too. So they did fire their head coach, Jamal Mosley. But in game 6, Patrick, they were up 60-38 at halftime. They scored 19 points in the second half. 19 points.
Yeah, yeah.
So Orlando needs to retool. Oh, and the last team that needs serious help, the Houston Rockets. My goodness. That team is a mess. Well, first of all, they messed their team up because they traded for Kevin Durant. And you had a young team there. Build with that young team. But no, Houston did what a lot of teams do, particularly in the NBA. They panicked and they said, we need to make this trade to try to strike it while it's hot. Well, you got Kevin Durant. Yes, Kevin Durant played during most of the regular season, but he missed 5 out of the 6 games in the playoff series with the Lakers. So you can't depend on him to be there. He's an aging player. And now you are cap strapped. And so now what are you going to do to continue this team? You have 2 good pieces. Amen Thompson, he needs to get a mid-range game. Very, very raw, good, talented player. But he's got to develop he's got to polish his game. And then you got the center, Şengün, Alperen Şengün. He's got a good game, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the improvement in the game with those guys. So if that's going to be your young core that you're building around, those guys in and of themselves, they need to get better.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I was looking at all the losses in the first round, and to be honest with you, man, every one of those lost teams, they need something. They need something. And to be honest with you, the only one I'm really looking at that I'm like, I can see them needing something, but you just don't know yet is that young Atlanta Hawks team, man. You just don't know what they need yet. I think they're going to try to run it back with what they got, and then they should have a good pulse of what they need moving into trade deadline next year. I mean, obviously, you still got draft and all of that stuff that you could really look at, but I mean, that Hawks team they're just in my personal opinion, they're just too young. They don't have any battle scars like you had talked about earlier in this show. They just don't have any of those things, and I think they got a few in this first round. So but I'd like to see what the Hawks can do with just maybe a piece. Just see what they got and just run it back with what they got this year, next year, and see what they need for trade deadline. But out of that, like every one of those, Magic, Raptors, Celtics, they all need something. I look at the Suns, obviously, Rockets, Nuggets. They need discipline. Bro, they need a lot of discipline. When they won their championship that 1 year, a couple years back, consistency. They were consistent. Now, they just got attitudes. Like everything is owed to them for whatever reason. And then the Trailblazers. To be honest with you, I think the Trailblazers are just young too. I mean, they need some. They need a few pieces. Definitely, they need a point guard for real. But other than that, man, like everything I looked at that, it was a solid first round. I mean, those teams that lost, they fought. I give them a lot of credit. They fought. Everything was a fight. So I give it a lot of credit. Well, except for the Suns. other than that, I mean, at least it was a battle. I mean, that Atlanta Hawks New York Knicks, it was a battle. The New York Knicks had to earn that, except for Game 6. And then Hawks were just like, yes, sir. Sir.
Handed it over.
Handed it right over to them. But no, these second rounds are going to look really good. I kind of have a feeling like Thunder should sweep, but I'll give LeBron James a game.
One thing about the Hawks, Atlanta could benefit probably from another low post presence.
They could,
because
maybe bigger. Yeah,
just somebody you can consistently go to when you're facing a team like the Knicks, who know you're trying to get out in the open court. So they're going to keep you in the half court. You have to be able to run some sets. Have somebody you could throw the ball to in the post and run your offense off of them. If they do get some things going, then you force a double, and then you can kick it out to CJ McCollum or Jalen Johnson or Nikolai Alexander-Walker, some of those other guys that kind of camp out on the perimeter. So they think the Hawks can benefit from that. But like you said, other than that, they're just really, really young. And they have a team the one thing I can say about the Hawks now is I feel like they have a direction.
We haven't had a direction in years.
Yeah, because you were trying to build around a guy in Trae Young that, frankly, I don't know if you want to build a team around him, because the guy you would want to build your team around is somebody who can do, I feel like this is the key word, multiple. you want somebody, you want to build your team around somebody who can do multiple things well. We know Trae Young, he can score, but he doesn't play well when others have the ball.
Yeah.
He has to have the ball in his hands. And I think that's that's a vast majority of the players in the league. They have to have the ball in their hands to get the maximum effect from them. But in those moments where you don't, are you setting screens well? Are you running around those screens well? Are you cutting off of those other guys? And
like Joel Embiid did in Game 7, the dude had a bum knee, and yet they were still making sure there was two people on him.
Yeah, because he was that dominant. Like you said,
he was that dominant, and they've had two people on him even when he didn't have the ball, and he was still making it down the court last because he just could not run on that knee. Dude, I keep going back to Aaron's comment. That was such a gutsy performance from him. So that was fun to watch. I hated the fact that he got that injury. Yeah. But man, I was sitting there watching him just power through it. And I was just like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you weren't pulling him off the court. He refused to come off. I mean, that time I was watching him, as soon as he got hit, he looked over and went and limped back down the court. He looked at his bench and went, no. Yep. Okay.
And it's Game 7.
It's Game 7, bro. Get me off the court. Now, when it was a lock, they got him off. When it was a lock, they got him off. Maxey, dude, and you got to give a lot of credit to Maxey. Whew. He put that last 2 minutes on his shoulders and was like, I will get us to game 1. I will get us to game 1. So, dude, it was a gutsy performance by Philly all around. That was a good game, dude. It was a good game.
Well, all right, Patrick. Well, shoot, we are about to head on off here, but before we head on off, what's coming up for Bro Epic?
Well, I have done. So I took a week off. I had some family things that I needed to take care of. So we are back. I am bringing back Monday Morning Motivation. So check those out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, Facebook if you're on there as well. I'm doing a little bit more of a change again. I've been testing out some posting here and there and finding out times. And be honest with you, all my good posting, it's really early in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going back to that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I might do every now and then on Friday. So with that being said, it's going to be Monday Morning Motivation. We are going to come up with Trending Tuesday for a bit, and then we're going to do New Episode Wednesday, and then Flashback Thursday. So it's going to kind of be like that. I did get our entire season 4 out on YouTube yesterday. Season 5 is well underway, man. Dude, season 5 is fun, bro. Season 5 is fun. We were doing everything out at the beach, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, that's what we got going on so far.
All right, and for WebCast, when we get into the summer, look for these interviews to start. Probably every other week is what I'm looking at with the show, and we probably do the show like on a Thursday, maybe a random Thursday or Friday, but more on that as we narrow that down. And also after the summer, look for a show. Maybe we do a live show when college football season is back. We'll get live. We'll be live, and we'll just sit here, just have maybe a couple hours where we're just watching the games, and everybody can watch the game with us, and then we're interacting with everybody. I don't think we've really been able to interact as much as we would like with everybody, especially at those times where college football is going on through.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to interact with everybody as we're watching these games live, and maybe
you get that raw content when Georgia's on. That is that one time where you'll be like, dang, Patrick's keeping his mouth shut. And I'm like,
Aaron says, I really appreciate you guys' praise and comments earlier. It means even more coming from you guys. Once again, part 2 is not the same quality wise, but I had to get it done. It's sorry, man. I'm sure you did a good job. And good night to you too, man. Thanks for tuning on in.
I appreciate you on everything, Aaron. And dude, again, appreciate the rap.
Yeah.
you might have just wrote our intro. Just say it. You might put together an intro, and I'm going to take those out, and I'll put us an intro together. Give it a good beat. Give it a good beat, and put those in there.
Mm-hmm. And so, so look out for some of those features coming up in the next few months. We're just doing a lot of work behind the scenes with these things and just life in general, so we can continue to put out these products and be in everyone's atmosphere, basically. So with that, that will conclude this edition of the BOFASports webcast, and that is what we are breathing on for this evening. Y'all make sure y'all visit the BOFASports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the BOFASports Facebook page. Enjoy the playoff games that are happening right now. We're getting to what they call the nitty gritty now. We are in the second round, the semifinal round of the NBA and the NHL Stanley Cups, and
and some good baseball is happening in college too.
Yeah, baseball, softball will be coming on up too. So
how about them Braves? They won't drop a series. They ain't dropping the series.
So yeah, keep an eye on the baseball and stuff as well. And for everybody who did tune in, thanks for tuning on in. Aaron, once again, thanks for the comments, man. And again, it's people like y'all who make this show what it is. So continue to watch, continue to tune in, and you can throw some comments in there too, just like Aaron does.
Yeah, we love it. And go check out Pro Epic. Go and check them out.
Yeah. And so with that, everybody have a good evening, and we will be back next week. Y'all take care.
Go Dogs.